Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. It is a Tuesday, and we have officially put the first week of all football being back to bed last night with the Ravens and Raiders game. What a fantastic game. Worth staying up and losing sleep over. I wasn't on yesterday, so I didn't really get a chance to talk about the other NFL games. Make sure that you check out my Monday morning on my YouTube channel. I chop it up about quarterbacks with Emory Hunt, and we talk about some of the headlines for quarterbacks coming out of Week 1. I'm going to keep that theme this morning. Man, do I wish that I could get people to at least give Lamar Jackson the respect that they give mediocre quarterbacks. Now, don't get me wrong. People love Lamar Jackson, the athlete. They love Lamar Jackson, the special talent. But boy, do they be saying stuff when he throws the ball that leads you to believe they don't like him as a passer, and I don't really understand why. Last night on the Monday night broadcast, they kept bringing up the fact that he's an improved passer, and I'm watching him. It looks the same as it's looked since, I don't know, Louisville. Like, they keep talking as if he's had so far to go, as if he's come so far. Like he wasn't just the MVP of the league 2 years ago. Like he didn't just put together another great season last year. They're talking as if he did not just lead the league in touchdown passes 2 years ago. When they talk about him passing, oh man, he's really dedicated himself to work on his passing. Look at him going through his read progression. Like, what? I never hear people say anything like this with Josh Allen, who legitimately had accuracy issues, who legitimately has issues reading past his first progression. They've never said anything like that for him. Baker Mayfield had a really good game, but I thought was just a not smart throw at the end of the game. And people made excuses for him left and right. Or maybe that was just my timeline, the places that I'm looking around. It seemed as if people were making excuses for him. Somehow the Browns lost a game, and their chances of winning a Super Bowl got better. It's like, what? They lost the game and their chances of winning the Super Bowl got better? Well, that quarterback play was really good. He was good. You know what's crazy? I don't even think it's a situation where you saw Lamar Jackson's best game last night. I don't think you saw his best game. He's that good. Take away the 80-something yards rushing. Take that away. And just appreciate the passing. He threw the ball 30 times. It's not 24, but it's not. What was it? 50? That Derek Carr threw it 56 times. Derek Carr completed more passes. He completed more passes than Lamar Jackson was able to attempt. Man, I'd love to see what happened if Lamar Jackson got a chance to throw the ball 50 times. Now, full disclosure, I don't think anybody should throw the ball 50 times. I think if you're throwing the ball 50 times, you've got some issues. But we talk about how great Derek Carr was last night. Nobody said anything about Derek Carr's accuracy. Nobody said anything about Derek Carr's ability to read a defense. Not once. You want to know what Derek Carr's completion percentage was? 60%. Derek Carr was 60% completion percentage, which I have been told by numerous people who claim to know the game, that's not good. And the reason I know that numerous people who cover the game and think they know the game says that's not good, because if I tell them that Lamar Jackson is a career 60 whatever percent, they tell me that's not good. By the way, Lamar Jackson, 63% yesterday. I believe he's a career 64% completion percentage quarterback. Never once did we hear anything about the other quarterbacks' accuracy. Never once did we hear anything about the other quarterback's ability to process a defense. Never once did we hear anything about the quarterback having to improve as a quarterback. We only heard it about Lamar Jackson. And why? Because his other talent is so immense. He's so special. He's so electric. He's so lightning with the ball in his hands that it legitimately makes people who don't understand the game and people who should know better go stupid when it comes to evaluation. It's the same stuff that led to people saying he should play wide receiver or defensive back when he was coming out of high school, even though he's only ever played quarterback his entire life. It's the same stupidity that made people say he should go and play wide receiver in the NFL, that his ceiling was higher as a wide receiver in the NFL than it was as a quarterback. It's the same stupid that said that with a full offseason, defensive coordinators are going to figure out Lamar Jackson. You know what they figured out last night? They figured out that the right tackle for the Ravens, Villanueva, can't block. That's what they did. They figured out Villanueva can't block, and then they started just beating the piss out of Villanueva. Villanueva, the guy who refuses to take a knee, the guy who refuses to do team protest, the guy who refuses to ride with his teammates on social justice issues, even though he plays with a bunch of black people. That same Villanueva was routinely getting punished last night. So much to the point that by the end of the game, I thought Villanueva should retire. That is how poorly he played last night. I wonder if the Ravens, and shout out to Ozzie Newsome, because Ozzie Newsome would have this thing popping. I wish Lamar Jackson got a chance to have Ozzie Newsome as his GM. There is no way Ozzie Newsome's going into a season with Villanueva as his right tackle. There's no way. None. I wish they cared about Lamar Jackson as a passer the way they care about Tom Brady as a passer, the way they care about Baker Mayfield as a passer, the way they care about, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes as a passer, where they're going out and getting tackles that can protect in pass protection so that these pockets aren't collapsing and Lamar Jackson isn't having to do wizardry in the backfield in order to get away and throw the ball. If Lamar Jackson isn't a pass-first quarterback, then why is it every single time he moves around in the pocket, he doesn't just take off? Well, if he relies on his legs so much, why doesn't he run more? And when will the Ravens figure out that the best way to use Lamar Jackson as a runner is not to call design runs for him? That's actually the worst way to use Lamar Jackson as a runner. The best way to use him as a runner was what they were doing late in the game. Go empty. Force that team to play man-to-man or some type of zone coverage. Let that defensive line rush. Let Lamar Jackson scan the field as a passer, and if all else fails, he can run it. That's the best way to use him. Quiet as it's kept, that's how they used him at Louisville. It wasn't a bunch of quarterback designed runs. So every time we hear people say dumb stuff like that, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Man, I wish they loved Lamar Jackson the way they love some of these other quarterbacks. That they would protect him the way that you would protect an elite level passer. And watch what happens. Josh Allen threw the ball 50 times. Was poor at best. His game was poor at best. Derek Carr made really clutch plays, but did not play particularly well. Was not accurate. And don't at me. It's cool. I watched the game. And then I went back and watched the game again. Because I do this. And I don't talk about it if I haven't seen it. Unlike some people. Well, I haven't seen the game, but this is what I think. No. If I've talked about it, I've seen it. Derek Carr was inaccurate last night. Throwing the ball behind receivers, throwing the ball in the coverage he had no business, throwing the ball to, trying to force the ball into his tight end. But he made big plays. I mean, big cojones plays. He cojones plays. He played. He was good. Good enough to win. He didn't throw. He performed well. He didn't throw the ball well. That's why he had to throw the ball 50 times. You don't have to throw the ball 50 times if you're completing more passes. And 56 times, excuse me. And by that same token, his receivers could have helped him out. The same way Lamar Jackson's receivers could have helped him out. But boy, I would love for them to help him out as a passer and give him guys that are legitimate offensive linemen to block for him in pass blocking. Villanueva's best days are over. And the sad part about it is that the Ravens had the perfect opportunity to draft some offensive linemen who were falling down the board because everybody was jumping up for skill position people. They had a chance to draft a guy to put on that right side, and they didn't. They were happy with Villanueva. Man, it's going to be a great football season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me. We do these things a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on my YouTube channel, you know what to do. We'll see you mañana. Peace.